In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most gracious. Students, today we are going to start chapter number 17, nervous coordination. And in first topic, we are going to talk about different terminologies and different structures which are involved besides the human brain in coordinating the body, and how the coordination is done. This is by the production of the electric signals among different parts of the body for the response to a particular stimulus. Neurology is the branch of science which deals with the structure and the study of the nervous system. Neurons are the structural units of the nervous system, which are highly specialized cells, and they have a specialized structure according to the functions they perform. Nervous coordination in animals consists of three basic steps. First of all is when you receive a stimulus from the outside environment or from the internal environment. Then we process that stimulus or analyze the information, and this information is sent to the brain via the response to the stimulus. And finally, the brain will send a command to different parts of the body through the effectors. Receptors are which parts of the body that receive stimuli from the internal or external environment and are called receptors or transducers. Now there are different types of receptors which are received by the human body. For example, light is a stimulus that is received by the receptor, which is called an eye. In the same way, there are other different types of receptors which are detected by our body or different organs of the body. The information that is received by the receptors in the form of a stimulus will be sent to the higher centers of the brain. Brain will detect this stimulus and will command the body to react accordingly. Then there are different types of receptors, and we are going to talk about them one by one. Photoreceptors are those receptors which detect the light stimuli, that is the rods and cone cells which are present in the retina of the eye. One detects the bright light and the other detects the dim light in the environment, and you immediately respond to the intensity of the light. For example, when the high light intensity is detected by your eye, you will immediately close your eyes or contract the pupil. On the other hand, if the light intensity is low, the pupil will dilate and you will open your eyes full. Then there are chemoreceptors. As their names indicates, they will sense the chemicals or the ions in the internal environment or in the external environment. These receptors are found in the nasal epithelium, which detects any kind of smell. That is also called the olfaction, detected by the olfactory nerves in your nasal epithelium. Some chemoreceptors are found in the tongue for taste. which is called gustation. Chemoreceptors are also found in hypothalamus called osmoreceptors, which will detect the osmolarity of the blood. This term we have studied in the previous chapter. The next type of receptors are the mechanoreceptors, which detects changes in the pressure, position or acceleration. Acceleration is the speed of something. These includes Meissner's corpuscles, Pacanian's corpuscles, and the baroreceptors. Meissner's corpuscles are present in the skin, and these receptors are specialized for the touch. These are basically present at the toes of, or at the tips of your fingers. For example, when you touch any hot substance, you will immediately retract your hand back. This will be the response when the stimulus was hotness. Then comes the Pacanian's corpuscles in the skin for stretch or pressure, and the baroreceptors are in the walls of the blood vessels, which detects the pressure inside the walls of the blood. There are receptors for hearing and equilibrium, which are also found in the ear. They are also known as the baroreceptors. Then the thermoreceptors, which obviously will detect any change in temperature, that is hotness or coldness. Nociceptors are the pain receptors, which will respond to damage to body tissues. Then the information that is sensed by the receptors or transducers will be analyzed, and the sensory inputs from various receptors are received by CNS, central nervous system, that is brain and its associated organs, that acts as coordinating center of your bodies. Brain will send information back to different parts of the body in order to respond according to the given stimuli. Effectors are those parts of the body which produce an appropriate response. For example, muscles and glands. So in case of hotness of the cup that was detected by your hands, and the immediate reversal of the hand in the backward direction is by your muscles, basically by the skeletal muscles that help you move your hand back, and some glands which will release the hormones according to any stimuli received by your body. So receptors will send information to the CNS, the coordinating center, and the coordinating center will send the information to the effectors. The next topic is neurons. These are the basic structural and functional units of the nervous system, which transmits the information in the form of a nerve impulse. The structure of neuron varies depending upon the function they perform. But we will discuss about the basic type of the neurons and the basic structure of the neurons. It has different parts. One is the cell body, which is the basic part of the neuron where the cytoplasm will be present. Dendrites are the short, thin extensions which are often highly branched cytoplasmic extensions present around the cell body. Axons are the long cylindrical structures which are the nerve fibers. They have a constant diameter and can vary in size from a few to more than a meter long. Exoplasm is just like the cytoplasm of the axons. Axolemma is the cell membrane of the axons, and the axon terminals are formed by branching to form small extensions with the enlarged ends called presynaptic terminals. These all parts are shown in the diagram in the next slide. Then comes the myelin sheath and the Schwann cells. Myelin sheath is a continuous or discontinuous sheath that surrounds the axon, and Schwann cells are shown here at the axons, which looks like the compartments. Besides neurons, nervous system also consists of neurons or the glial cells or the neuroglial cells, which will support, protect and nourish the neurons. Now you can see in the diagram, at the upper end there is the cell body that contains a nucleus in the center, the dendrites, the small branches, the Nissel's granules, which are the carbohydrate source and provides the energy to the cell, the Schwann cells, which are present at the axon sites. Myelin sheath will surround the whole Schwann cells, and the axon shows nodes and internodes where the nerve impulse will be transmitted irregularly. The node of Renviers are the points which are present at the junctions of the axons, and finally the axon terminals and the synaptic knobs. These synaptic knobs are there for the connection between one neuron to the dendrites of the other neurons. This is all for today. Thank you so much.